So in today class, I will explain relating to the HTTP module. HTTP module, how to use the HTTP module, what is the use of the HTTP module in the Node.js. Okay, so yeah, and I already told you Node.js is a server-side programming. So mainly the functionality of the backend is taking the data request data from the client and sending response to the clients. Taking the request, sending the response. So request and response. This is the request and this is the response. So these are the things we are doing generally from front end to back end to front end. Now use so these communication from client to server we are done using the only HTTP protocol. That means, for example, if you call any website, you are using the HTTP protocols. Like for HTTP, for example, let's take HTTP HTTP gmail.com, HTTPS google.com. So if you are opening any website, that means you are communicating with the server. You communicate with the server through the HTTP protocols. So now I'm explaining how to use the HTTP module in Node.js to communicate from client to server over the HTTP protocol. Let's start. First, for user to use if you want to use the HTTP module, you need to import the what we need the HTTP module. So first we need to import that HTTP module. So HTTP module is the built-in module in the Node.js. No, in HTTP module is one of the built-in module in Node.js. It is used for to communicate, to get the request data from the client and also to give the response to the client over the HTTP protocols. For that purpose, we are using the HTTP module. So first we need to import the HTTP module. For that one, we use the required function. For that we use required function. What we require, we need the HTTP core module, built-in module. That means HTTP module already there in the Node application. We are just importing that module into one constant like HTTP req required. This one required. So now I got the HTTP module into the HTTP variable, right? HTTP client. This is alias. So now I got the HTTP module. Now what is the use of the HTTP module? HTTP module used to get the request from the client and give the response to the client. So for that one, first we need to create the one server object. Create server object. Okay. So for that purpose, we use the function create server in this HTTP alias. Okay. Then HTTP dot create server. So I create the server, but this server we must listen using some HTTP protocol, right? Then we need to give the some colon 800 proxy. We need to give some so localhost colon 3000. So local in the React is running on the localhost colon 3030. Angular is running on the localhost colon 42 port number. Those are the port numbers. In the same way, our Node application runs on the port number 8080. So to listen to get that port number, use the function dot listen for this port number 8080. Okay. Now create a function. Okay. Let's take a function which had the two arguments. Let's take a function here. Let's take a function like function server something. Let's take okay. Let's take the two argument request comma response. You write this function in the instead of writing separate function, write this function in this create server function object. So function. So write one anonymous function in the create server. So you need to pass an anonymous function to the create server function. We for this function we need to pass two parameters request and response. Okay. So whatever we're getting requests from the client is comes in this request. So whatever response if you want to send, we use this one. So here using the HTTP module, we create a one server using the create server object. After that, we need to listen our server using the port number 8080. That's why I write dot listen 8080. Now, is just listening. Okay, just listening, right? Just listen. Now I just create the server. I'm not sending any response. To send the response, what we need to use this one. So for example, I want to send the response. Hi, how are you? For that one, I use the rest dot. All right. Hello, how are you? So that means if anyone access our server using through the HTTP protocol, okay, then it returns the hello, how are you? So let's start the server. So node, what is the file name? First.js. Okay. Now server is running. We are not getting any output. Just server is running. Now to access the server, what we need to use the localhost colon 8080. Let's check. Am I getting any response? No. Why? Here no first our running right is running, but not getting anything. So we must be get the request. All right. Hello, how are you? We must get hello, how are you? Right. Let's see. It's not running. Let's change the port number like 80. Why is port number is causing less than 8080? Okay. We need to stop the response. Otherwise, we need to stop the response. Okay. Now again stop the server. Again run the server. Okay, run the server. Now if I run the server, now if I call the localhost 8080, I am getting the hello, how are you? That means we are accessing the space using the 8080 protocol through the HTTP protocol with the port number 8080. So if you call that one, if you call then we are giving response hello, how are you? Alright. So see now if you change the response, for example, you change the response how are you? Is good, is it good? So now I change the response, right? But if we see here, it's not changing here because already we are running the server here. So if you change the response, if you change anything in the server, you must stop the server again. You need to run the server. Then only your response will change. See, it's changed, right? So this is the way how we send the response. How we send the response from server to client. Okay, this is the way. Okay, now we are sending the plain text. For example, I want to send HTML text from server to client. So for example, I put in the H2 text. So what do you think? This text must be comes in the like a heading response. Okay, now let's stop the server. Again run the server. Okay, see, you are not getting the HTML formatted. You are getting the text only. Why? Because the server thing, you are sending the plain text. You are sending the plain text. You need to tell to the HTTP module, send the response in the HTML format. For that, we need to pass the headers also. Headers tell the what type of text we are sending to the client. What type of response text we are sending. So for that one, response dot write head, and also write head. After that, we need to tell what is the 200 and what is the content type. So I am telling that content type like this. So content type text slash. So I am telling that send the response to the client with the HTML format. So what you are sending, so allow the so whatever sending, so your text is not the plain text. If you not add a header, you are given the plain text. It's not considered HTML text. HTML is considered HTML text as a simple text. If you are not write any header. Now if you write the header, allow the content type text style HTML. Then your text also consider the HTML text, and the text was formatting. Let's see. Let's stop the server and again run the server. See. So now you got the HTML page, and this is the HTML format. This is the way how you send the HTML response from server to client. This is the way how sending the response from server to client. Okay. Now how handling the request. So user sending some data to. So I told how send the request from response from server to client. Now how we send the request from client to server. So for that one, just let's just print console.log. Just write. Let's just take what is the URL. What is the data you're passing. That URL is equal request dot URL. Okay. Let's write that one. What is the URL we're getting? So it is from. Okay, I will explain in the next class how to handle the request data. In this class, I will just explain how to send response from server to client. This is the way we send the response from server to client using the Node.js. That's it for today's class.